Well, Margot is
Definitely.
uncrackable.
No, I was
She's
laughing through
a rock.
everything. Ryan would do
It's
something
frustrating.
different on every take. And I honestly, I usually am pretty good about not breaking in a scene
Yeah.
because I don't want to ruin anyone's take if they're doing something great. And I couldn't hold it together 50% of the time.
But she can't be broken, so it's pretty frustrating.
Hey, Barbie. Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
I don't know, Barbie's been omnipresent for me. She was just kind of there in my childhood at someone's house or whatever. I wasn't actually that much of a Barbie girl as a kid. I was more of a roll around in the mud kind of gal, but I did still play with Barbie, yeah.
Yeah, I think, again, like Barbie has kind of always been there, but not like on the periphery, you know? And now, obviously, it's like part of my day-to-day life because I have 2 kids. They have been super supportive and so helpful, and there's one scene in particular which, you know, at the end of the film, like, there was something I had to prepare a lot for, and so they were at home while I was doing it, and they knew it as well as I did. So they came to set the day I did it, and they were behind the camera, and they were like, almost like my coaches, and it was pretty cool.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
I mean, I wasn't a Barbie girl. I didn't play with Barbies. I didn't really see myself reflected in that narrative. And it was just like, didn't feel like a very accessible world. And I guess I felt like, oh, I don't really have any feelings about Barbie, you know, until you then have to like sit with it and build a character who has very strong feelings about Barbie, and then I think, oh, I think I do have feelings about Barbie. And what's amazing is just getting to be a part of a moment in the legacy of this iconic story for so many of us, in a moment that's really expanding that narrative to include more of us and to include more of who we are and what we are. And so that feels like an unexpected surprise.
I was a big Power Rangers guy, so I loved action figures and I loved like the toys. But I gotta say, I came from like a really, you know, I came from a time like so many of us did where like gender norms were very, I think, strictly enforced. Like parents just believed that boys had to do this and girls had to do this. And so Barbie for me was like never an accessible brand, right? It was like, oh yeah, no, that's for you guys. And I never really took the time to understand what Barbie even was, why it was so important to have, you know, for so many people. And you know, I think this movie will really, I think, educate a lot of people who weren't super familiar with Barbie, you know, for no other reason than like they were told from a young age that it wasn't for them. But this movie is for everyone. Like it says in the trailer, whether you love Barbie, whether you hate Barbie, there's just something in it because it's just such a conversation starter.
Basically everything that men do in your world, women do in ours.
The president's here.
I am, you're welcome.
Barbie is a doctor and a lawyer, and so much more than that.
I think there's this thing with Barbie. It's like Barbie can be anything and she can be everything. She can be a doctor, she can go to space, she can do this. And it's a little like overwhelming, I think, the expectations to be a good friend and a good family member and be an activist in these regards and support the right things and think about the right things and do your job and be humble and, you know, like kind of that speech that America gives. It's just, it's so much and it's so contradictory. It's kind of overwhelming. And for someone to just say you like, you're already doing it great. You, just as you are, making it through life, you're crushing it. You're already crushing it. We don't expect anything more of you. That, to me, weirdly, I found very therapeutic. I was kind of like, oh, I'm enough. I'm doing it. I'm good. That's nice.
I think the beauty of what this movie is doing in this moment is like empowering personal expression and empowering joy through personal expression, and that like we get to be all of it. We don't have to, you know, choose between being serious and professional and really, you know, taken seriously with like our joy and our playfulness and our imagination, and you know, the fact that we're all Barbies, right? It's, and no matter what we present as or look like, and that I love.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Barbie.
To be at a place now where, yeah, like Barbie looks like so many different things and Ken looks like so many different things. I think at the end of the day, you're teaching kids that they belong regardless of what they look like, how they choose to express themselves, that they belong in this world. And it's something that I distinctly remember I didn't always feel growing up, because you know, you would turn on the TV and you would see people who didn't necessarily look like you. And so then you would then I think you would internalize that and you would say, there's a part of like my energy and my identity, like I don't belong in that space. And I think what I've loved seeing, you know, and what I think this movie continues to be a part of is this movement that that runs antithetically to that, which is that actually everyone belongs.
Hi, I'm Weird Barbie. I am in the splits. I have a funky haircut and I smell like basement.
Oh my God, I had a weird Barbie.
Yeah, you did.
People are so excited about it, and people are like, I'm gonna make Barbie my whole personality. And it's just like, I want that for them. You know, and I want them to obviously like it and come out of it just feeling fulfilled, but I think the best thing is for them not to have expectations. You don't care if they like it or not?
No, I would like them to like it, obviously. I hope it makes people feel good about themselves, about the totality of who they are, and inspires them to walk taller and rock any look at all that feels authentic to them.
Looking good, Barbie.
Thanks, Ken.
Most of the extras were all dancers, right?
Yeah.
And so they were always like stretching and dancing and like playing music, and then Greta would encourage the crew and everyone to sort of like join in, and it just felt like a theme party really, and not even a...
Every day was a party. And Wednesdays in particular were fun because I made the
Oh,
rule
this was
that on
the best.
Wednesdays we wear pink, you know, because of Mean Girls. And if anyone didn't wear pink, I would fine them and all the proceeds would go to a charity. So Wednesdays were particularly funny, just seeing how people would slowly get a little braver with how they were incorporating pink into their wardrobe. I'm talking primarily about kind of like the dudes, our like
You can't
crew
imagine how
dudes.
excited they were to wear pink.
But by the end of it, if you had a picture from like day one, whatever everyone wore on Wednesday, and then by the end of the job, it's, you know, I think everyone went on a real journey and really evolved to places.
The guys made their own, the crew guys made their own shirts at the end of the movie that were pink, that had rainbow fringe.
Oh.
They paid for them themselves, and they wore them the last week. And it was kind of like, it felt like, is it Dead Poet Society where they stand on the desks?
Yes.
And they go, oh, Captain, my Captain. Yes. It was like that. They all showed up in their rainbow shirts, the pink, and they were like, it was just like this expression of respect for Greta and Margot and what they had done.